Good afternoon. Thank you for joining us. This is Nigeria Now on Equa Television International. We hope that you are doing good. And today we're going to look at issue of issue of national interest, which number one is the issue of the president, the number one citizen, meeting with this new appointed security chiefs and then advising them that they should harmonize and then work together for the good of the country. And then in the other side, they are assuring him of their loyalty to him and to the country. And just do well to join us in this conversation because we are live on Facebook and YouTube. And in the studio, I have just Ekada with me.
My pleasure. Good afternoon, Sabu Solomon. A pleasant afternoon to our viewers out there.
How are you doing?
I'm great, and you?
Yeah. The new appointed security chiefs finally, met with the president. The appointment came, on the eve when he was traveling to France, and then him coming back, he feel it is important for him to have a parley with them, and then the national security advisor led the delegation, and then they had a closed door, and then Mr. President giving them his word that they should synergize, they should work together, and he's expecting them to do more.
Well, that's a great one, coming from the president back to Abuja from his trip to Paris, London, and Lagos, and even visitation of some monarchs in Ogun State. And back to Abuja, we saw that he met with the service chiefs led by the NSA, that's National Security Advisor. It was a good one. That was the first, like the median meeting, if you ask me. The first after the announcement of appointment. You recall some weeks back how that people were jubilating, looking at the appointment, even though some people had some reservation. The issue of the service chief is one that a lot of Nigerians have talked about, that if these people, the ones that were on seats, were not actually working, can we have new ones? And but we saw how that former President Muhammadu Buhari maintained all the former service chiefs, not until after he left office. And then Tinubu, as expected, when you have new administration, when there's transition, people come with people they want to work with. And he also made the announcement on June 19th of the new service chiefs as well as the National Security Advisor. And that announcement was met with a lot of celebration. Some people criticize it, like I said earlier, and say, oh, the North Central is not represented. We saw how that in the 10th National Assembly, the North Central were also not represented. So why didn't he consider that? But should it all be about that? And some Nigerians ask the question, what about competence? If these people can serve, can actually give results, why not give them a trial? And we saw how that in confidence, their antecedent, their pedigrees were read and great, if you ask me, but that the expectations are actually high for these people. And no wonder we saw that the president, after his visitation to Paris, London, Lagos State, back to Abuja, he's meeting with the service chiefs. In fact, they had a closed door meeting that lasted for about 2 hours at the presidential villa. And what gave hope and optimism is the fact that the National Security Advisor talked about the fact that all the service chiefs have agreed to actually put in their best, especially in meeting with the security needs of the nation. Nigeria is one country that, whether you like it or not, the issue of insecurity is glaring, is facing us in the eyes. People in so many places cannot sleep. There are people that are not even living in their ancestral lands because of issues of banditry, kidnapping, and even insurgency of various forms. So the president tasked the security chiefs to actually collaborate and secure the country, which is very important, because if we lose our country to bandits or to terrorists or to some insurgent groups, of course, then there will be nowhere for us to stay. For example, we see how that in some local government like Mangu, that people were attacked, and then other states in the country, you see how that people are being moved to IDP camps and they are no longer living in their ancestral land. So there is actually the need to have our country really secured, and that is one of the charge that the president charged them. Nigerians have been talking about, and we emphasize it on this show, the need to synergize, because when you have your security apparatus working individually, then there's no way result is going to be achieved, because the goal is one, to ensure that there's security in the country. But when you see for example, some arms of the security fighting themselves, pointing fingers and all of that, then the whole security system is in trouble, because what needs to be seen is collaboration, coordination, and results. That is what Nigerians actually are anticipating. So like I said earlier on, this is the first interactive meeting after their appointment, and the president charged them to collaborate to address security challenges. There is need for them to work as a team, and he expects them to actually deliver. From the north to the south of the country, we are faced with insecurity. So the president, you will recall that even before meeting with the service chief, the president met with the former governor of Zamfara State, and it is in a bid to bring an end to the issue of banditry. We saw how that the former governor was advising that can we have dialogue with these people, trying to emulate the system that one-time president, late President Yaradua, actually used to bring an end to the issue of militants, dialoguing with them and all of that. So he was actually recommending that Nigeria actually dialogue with this bandit to bring an end to it. But in all of that, my concern, this is not the first time we're hearing, well, we're seeing people suggesting dialogue. We've seen how that Governor Bello, Masari and Matawali dialogued with these people. We saw them even snapping pictures with all of them, but they didn't even bring an end to the issue of banditry in the past. But these people like gained ground and they waxed stronger. We saw how that they continued with their attack. So should we continue with the issue of dialogue, liaison and all of that? Can we just confront these people and bring an end to it once and for all, so that Nigerians can have their life? Because whether we like it or not, in so many parts of this country, people cannot go to farm. We had one time how that some over 100 farmers were killed, and then when the spokesperson of the president, that's the former president, came out to talk, he said it's because the farmers didn't take permission before going to their farmland. Our country needs to be secured, and we need to be serious about this. And that's why I'm saying I'm not of the opinion that, oh, dialogue is the way out with these people. We've seen that happening several times, several occasions. Our military, our security apparatus are up to the task. Like I always maintain, how many are these people compared to our numbers? So why should a few number of people continue to make us not to have peace, not to live the life that we should live in our own country? Today, Sambo Solomon, you're not traveling for leisure. People will tell you are taking risks and all of that. So why do we have that? Gone are the days that people just pick their bags and just want to go and visit relatives outside their state. But now maybe it's just occasions like wedding, like funerals and all of that that bring people together. So I think we need a country that is secure. It is only a country that is secure that you can count progress, that you can count development. So we give it to the president for having that first interactive meeting with the security chiefs and charging them to collaborate to address the challenges. All these have been declared, but our concern is actually results. It's not the first time that we're seeing meetings like this. Even the former chiefs, when with the last administration, they had meetings, there were expectations, but at the end of the day, there was no result. Kudos to them for meeting. We like the fact that they actually did that, but what we are looking forward to is result. Can we have an end to banditry? Can we have an end to killings? That's what Nigerians are asking for, until we can feel the impact of this meeting in our country, in our community, in our villages. Then there's no result as far as Nigerians are concerned. Same thing with the issue of our economy, the hardship that people are facing due to the removal of the first subsidy, as good intended as these policies are. But if people will continue to suffer because of lack of palliatives or measures to cushion the effect, then it makes no sense to them. And no wonder Sarah yesterday we're tasking the president, can you give us published details of how the 400 billion naira that has been saved from the removal of subsidy has been spent? What are the mechanisms put in place to ensure that this money does not end up again in some pockets of some few individuals? We need to be serious. Like I said, result is what Nigerians are actually looking forward to. So the call for synergy, very good, very prompt. Nigeria security system actually needs that. And then since President Tinubu have already promised the service chiefs his support. We hope that their welfare as well is going to be improved, so that we don't have the case of them collecting bribes, or some people passing with weapons just to go and attack, and they just give them way because of what they will get at the end of the day. We hope to see that the security system is being strengthened. We hope to see measurable outcome, and there's also need for agenda to be set for these people. I'm talking about professionalism. I'm talking about give certain agenda for them to end banditry, to end kidnapping. There's already threat of secessionists in the south, and unless we set agenda for these people, then we'll keep going on the same circle. So let's set agenda. There are high expectations, and we hope they do the needful.
Wow, we like you rightly said earlier, you know, when you talk about, yes, the meeting is important, and we had several meetings, you know, with previous administration concerning security of this country, and we saw how, you know, day by day the security challenges of this country has been on increase, and then people start asking, where are the military? And then to a point that people are asking, how many are these criminals? How many are these bandits? How many are these headsmen that we are talking about? You know, and they are trying to bring the entire country, you know, to her knees. And you ask, you know, where are our military men? You know, that the federal government is spending taxpayers' money, you know, to train, you know, men and women, and then procure equipment, you know, that will secure the country. And then you find out that people cannot go to bed, close their eyes and sleep. At some point, you know, people are even securing themselves, you know, vigilante. That's how it involved, you know, people gathering, bringing themselves together, and then organizing security for themselves, you know, going on shift and the rest. And people are asking, what is happening? Well, thank God, because the new appointed security chiefs, yes, they had this meeting, and then with the charge. But looking at their pedigrees, I think that's what is giving people hope. And then I listened to the NSA, the National Security Advisor, Nuhu Ribadu, when he was saying Nigerians should have hope in them, because of they are one of the best, you know, and then the president is entrusting the security of the country in their hands, so we should trust them. Yes, we will trust them, but until we begin to see result. And he said, if we notice that things of the issue of insecurity, the banditry, and so on and so forth is beginning to go down, and he said from now henceforth it will continue to go down. And we hope, and we hope, and we hope that will continue.
Beyond the talks, we saw over the weekend, Ogun, how a pastor was killed, and 7 others kidnapped. We applaud the security, because we saw how 7 were actually rescued. But more needs to be done. Like I said, we need to stop counting numbers of death. But we need to ensure that every Nigerian that is in the hands of these kidnappers is being rescued to their families.
And talking about dialogue, Joyce, you know, a one-time chief security officer of a state is suggesting that we should go on dialogue. And sometimes you start wondering, you know, where do you put agitation and where do you put crime? I ask this question because we have to, as a country, separate these two, agitation and crime. These are two different things. If people are agitating for something, it's different. That's when you will say you will engage them. But when people are killing innocent citizens and like nothing, like not human being, I don't think it's acceptable. I don't think you should keep those people round table and say you are dialoguing with it is not acceptable. I don't think if we say we will go this way, because that's when people will begin to feel, okay, look at now, you talked about people in the IDP who made them to be where they are now. You know, you can say the Boko Haram, the bandits, and the race that chased them from their ancestral homes, and they are in IDP. And then the same people, you are dialoguing with them, and then what do you expect the people to to feel? Those people that are in IDP camps. I feel the government should really take responsibility and then separate the two. When it comes to issue a dialogue, let's dialogue. When we are to bring all the forces, you know, the military power that we have to deal with issue of crime, we should do that. I think that will help us. If not, people will be taking advantage and they will think the government is weak.
Well said.
National Assembly have been won against the unveiling of fake list of minority leader, but finally the result is out there. You know, the list is out there. You know, because the issue of the leadership of the National Assembly principal officers. You remember what happened from the Senate President to Speaker of House of Representatives. You know, the Deputy Speaker, and then the Deputy Senate President. You know how it went. And then there is this fight, you remember, between Wike and still Atiku, you know, coming up when it comes to the issue of minority leader, when they are pushing Tambuwal, and then the Wike and the core are kicking against. And
Sambo Solomon, what is quite unfortunate that what we see today at the National Assembly is just power tussle. Like I thought after the election, people will go into work, will start thinking of what to do for their people. But immediately after the election, what we saw was tussle for leadership of the 10th National Assembly. We haven't had the inauguration, the speech coming by the from the Senate President. Oh, we are uncommon 10th National Assembly. We are going to be uncommon in our dealings and all of that. A lot of expectations. Nigerians are having a lot of expectations as regard this 10th National Assembly, because unlike the other, this is the 10th National Assembly that has representation of almost all the political parties. And then we saw how power tussle took place. We saw how people were exchanging money, people were buying people's conscience just to get to position. We saw how that the president stood by certain people just to gain support for them. Of course, the APC are the ruling party. There were expectations that, oh, these people are going to actually at the end of the day emerge. The president will have influence and all of that. Regardless, we saw at the end of the day, Godswill Akpabio, some people say, oh, it's my turn. This person is saying, oh, I worked for you. This person is saying, oh, my zone should be represented. But at the end of the day, some few individuals actually emerged. Godswill Akpabio as the Senate President, and then we saw Tajuddin Abbas as the Speaker, and other their deputies. Now is the issue of the minority leaders. So the People's Democratic Party, that are the major opposition party, are actually warning against any fake list, unveiling of fake lists. They are warning, and this warning, I'm sure, is directed at the Senate President, because there are already rumors of some people trying to rally around the Senate President for what they will actually get. Recall that it was the same thing that we saw in the issue of the Senate Majority Leader, how it brought almost confusion, because the North are saying, oh, the Senate Majority Leader must actually come from our side. And so as the 10th National Assembly resumes today, that's after its 2-week break, the main opposition party, PDP, are actually warning the Senate President against unveiling a fake list of minority leaders, saying that it is still consulting and yet to take a stand on the issue. So any list that Nigerians will see is fake as far as they are concerned. Just yesterday, we saw their National Working Committee met with the senators of PDP, and then this is just so that they don't allow any party force some few individuals on them, because they also have a say. And then the PDP senators are saying, oh, we want to liaise with other parties, that because together they're actually a majority. They don't want an issue, a situation where they are just left alone. So they are still consulting to see how all of this happened. But the warning is coming, because some people are already rallying around the Senate President. Oh, there are, of course, committees that are going to be set up. So people are trying to lobby their ways and all of that. And I was just concerned, I was bothered. So is it about leadership, who is this? Is it? It goes a long way to tell you that people vie for position, people go just for some selfish interest. When you see some of the battle that these people do, some of the things, the lobbying, like I like to term it as ungodly, like follow all means. People have made it a do or die affair. No wonder somebody will speak to the camera and say, it is my turn. It is not even about what the people are going to decide, but because I feel it is my turn, like it's my own turn to take my own share of the national cake. You have been eating from it, allow me to eat. So it's not really about the people. No wonder policies are being taken even without putting in place measures to cushion the effect of such policies. Nigerians are suffering, Sabo Solomon, as we speak right now. People are finding it hard to feed, and as we speak, there's already implementation of tariff hike that people are not even aware of. We saw how that some discos are saying, no, we've not gotten approval from NEC, but yet they're already telling consumers, see, expect hike because of PMS, because of exchange rate, because of inflation and all of that. You go to the market, what you used to buy for 1,000 naira, you buy it for almost 3,000 naira. Everyday price is changed. There's no control measure, and all. We don't have a form of regulation. The common man is suffering, and that was why I said when discos were actually talking about hiking for by 40%. What if other products and services decide to just hike their prices? That we are still talking about 30,000 minimum wage of how many years that some states are even yet to implement. TUC are suggesting 200,000 minimum wage. How many, like the federal government have not even said anything about it. We spoke about CNG cars, electrical cars that will help push on the effect. How many states have implemented that? People are suffering every day. People go out, they come back. People have family to fend for, and yet it looks like the government are not even concerned. What you see leaders telling you is that, oh, can you endure the pain? Can you be patient with the baby step? Why can't we see leaders, government officials taking that bold step to say, no, I'm going to take the pain. I'm going to give up my allowances so that my people can actually benefit and have a good life. Governance is about the welfare of the people. Leadership is about service. Let's see these people bringing it to fore. It's not just about the common man suffering. If we say democracy is government of the people, by the people, and for the people, why is it that when we see leaders vying for position, leadership tussle, it's not about the people, it's about my turn, it's about just me and my people and some nepotic reasons and all of that. I hope to see a new Nigeria where when you talk about governance, when we talk about policy, it's going to be people-centered rather than individual or some personal interest. I've continued to anchor on the fact that we need to make governance unattractive. By the time we make governance unattractive, by dropping the cost of governance, then a lot of people will not even vie or fight or kill to be there. But because of all this humongous amount of money allowances we see these people sharing day in, day out, no wonder people kill to be there. Just during the 2023 general election, you saw how many people were killed. Because somebody wants to be there, do or die. That's how politics is right now. A lot of people have made it to be a do or die affair. If I don't get it, you won't be there. Nigeria is a great country. We are not pessimists. We will continue to be optimistic, but we hope that our leaders know that a day is coming that they will give account of that position that they are holding.
Wow. Well, National Assembly is one of the arm of government that is very key, is very important, and we just pray that they will settle all of this, and then we will see them working so that the three arm of government will come together. Let's see that unity, let's see that harmony, because until the three arm of government agree and come together and then work in unity, that is when we'll begin to see the impact. Because whatever the executive are bringing to the National Assembly, definitely they will check and see, is it anti-people or is it something that will help the country to unite and then to progress. These are some of the things. And then when you have people that watch over the affairs of the constitution, let me put it that way, the judiciary that look into the issue of rule of law, working as it should, that's when you will see the proper check and balance in whatever governance is concerned. That's when you will see. And when you talk about the issue of allowances and the rest, and then people going extra miles to take what does not belong to them, is because the judicial arm of government, there's a lacuna, there, and you expect to see that everywhere is working. When something goes wrong, when you breach the constitution, you know that something will be done when you go to the judiciary, and then if there's any punishment, you will serve that punishment, and then the law will cut across whether you are big or small. The law is not a respecter of any office, whether you are big or small, and we should start seeing that. Once that starts to take effect, definitely you will find out things will just take shape, and whatever you are earning and you are contented with, that will break that issue of corruption, and then we will see the people, whatever is being budgeted, for a particular thing going the way it should, and that, you see, the country will move forward. Thank you, Joyce, for doing this with me today. I appreciate, and I really learn from your angle of thought. You open my mind to so many things, and then we believe that Nigerians out there that are watching are really happy with what the government is doing right, and the things that the government are not doing right. Please voice out, and that is why this platform is here, so that we'll continue to do this together. So keep your comments sending, and we appreciate you for always standing with us, for always allowing us into your living room. This is Ekwa Television, Nigeria Now. We'll continue tomorrow, same station, same time. God bless you.